All right, what is going on, everyone? We are live Sunday, January 25th. We have our conference championship games on the slate for this Sunday. We got the AFC Championship at 3 o'clock with New England at Denver, 6:30 p.m. We get the Rams up in Seattle in an NFC West matchup there. We've seen those two teams face off. We get it a third time in the conference championship. We're going to start things off in Denver, though. We have Aces Patriots going to Denver to take on these Broncos led by Jared Stidham. The Broncos are now getting 3.5 points over under at 43. Broncos on the money line plus 185. This line has been moving all over the place. Obviously, when we talked on Wednesday, this was Patriots -5. There's been obviously a ton of money flood in on the Broncos +5 on the money line, whatever it was, plus 200, whatever. There was sharp money, public money all over the Broncos. So this line did drop down a little bit. This is telling me the Broncos are going to cover this game. They're going to be in it at 3.5. They're going to be in it at 4 if you got it at 4 or 5. I originally said take the Patriots -5, but this line movement, this is why I usually, I don't lock in picks on a Wednesday when I'm giving them out. So you always got to wait till Sunday when we're giving out our official picks here because the Broncos plus 3.5 is the play here. I think the defense is going to play a huge game. I love under 43. I think it's going to be a 19-17 kind of game, 19-16, somewhere where that 3.5 will come into play. And Denver is going to cover that spread. I just think the defense is going to be a lot for Drake May. He's played a lot of good defenses throughout the start of his career, in this season, especially obviously in this playoff run, getting the Chargers, getting the Texans. They didn't look that great against the Texans last week. I guess they put up their points, and people were going to say I'm a Patriots hater, but I do like Drake May. I do like what Vrabel's doing. I think they're going to definitely have every chance to win this game. They're favored for a reason. But getting the Broncos a plus 3.5 with that defense, I know you're playing a backup quarterback, but that's why it just doesn't make sense. When you get a backup quarterback in these kinds of games, you're expecting 5.5, 6, 7 points. Broncos are only getting 3.5. It's in Denver, in Mile High, the place where the Patriots have never won a playoff game. Are the stars aligning for a Jarrett Stidham's appearance in the Super Bowl for these Broncos? You got to feel for a guy like Bo Nix not being able to suit up for this one. But let's take a look at some of these anytime touchdown bets for today, at least in this game in the AFC Championship. Our favorites are the running backs for each team, Ramondre Stevenson and RJ Harvey sitting at plus 120. Travion Henderson is the next guy at plus 195. Hunter Henry plus 200, tied with Stephon Diggs at plus 200. And then we get Cortland Sutton plus 240. And another Bronco looks like Jaleel McLaughlin is next. I couldn't see the name there, plus 280. So a couple touchdown. I think this can be a low scoring game. This is not a game where I recommend taking many anytime touchdowns. If you were looking for one, I guess I'd like Stevenson for the Patriots. I do like Sutton for the Broncos. I do think Stidham's going to throw one, get one in the end zone. I think Cortland Sutton's going to be a big part of having him under center, having a security blanket, a veteran receiver that's been there, done that, and in big games too. Not necessarily the AFC Championship, but Cortland Sutton's a veteran that a guy like Jarrett Stidham can step in, rely on to run the right routes and all things like that. Communication should be good there. So I look for the Broncos to cover this one, plus 3.5 in Denver. That's going to be a great game. First touchdown, I would lean on the Patriots. I like Ramondre Stevenson to score the first touchdown, plus 600 on MGM. You could do the first team if you like it better. I'm sure it's like plus 300, 350 there. So I like that a lot. But I think the Patriots score the first touchdown. So you might as well just take them on the first plus 600. I think the Patriots will jump out to a lead. That's another thing about betting this game. If you like the Broncos plus 3.5, I kind of like the Patriots to jump out to an early lead and score the first touchdown. So you might have a chance to get the Broncos at plus 7.5. So this might be a live wager game. Make sure you shop your odds, look around, see what you can get. If you can get 4, I love 4. That's a 19 or 20-16, 21-17, something like that. You'd at least get the push there. But yeah, I'm on Denver plus the 3.5. I don't know if it's going to be on my card. I don't know if I'm going to have many plays today on my card. Not loving a lot of these games. Like I said, I like the under in this first game, 43 under there. And then for a touchdown pick, I like Ramondre Stevenson plus 120, and I like him first plus 600. Make sure you shop your odds there. Obviously, on the first touchdowns, those fluctuate heavy. You might be able to find him 650, 700, 750. It just depends where you're betting it at. But yeah, AFC Championship, 3 p.m. today. Patriots, Broncos. Like I said, Broncos getting 3.5 over under 43.5 or 43. I'm leaning on the Broncos plus the 3.5, and I'm leaning on the under 43 for the NFC Championship at 6:30 in Seattle. The 12th man's going to be alive. We saw how loud that stadium can be last week. Rashid Shaheed runs the opening kickback in another divisional game where they beat the San Francisco 49ers. They get another divisional opponent here in the Rams coming to Seattle, the night game. You saw that video of Mike McDonald setting the scene. Picture yourself in late January. It's shitty outside. It's rainy. It's cold. It sucks for them, but it's perfect for us. He absolutely set the scene for this game. Divisional matchup. I'm gonna lean on the Seahawks here. My Seahawks bias is showing through from when Russ was there. This team's very likable. I love the defense. So kind of what got them there when Russ won the Super Bowl, when they got back to the Super Bowl the year after, and had the terrible play call at the end. They could have been back-to-back champions. I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks here to get back to the Super Bowl. Minus 140 on the money line, minus 2.5. If you want to take the chance, I like the minus 140. I think it's a game where you lay a little bit of juice. I think they will win the game at home. Two familiar opponents as well. I know it's tough to go against Matt Stafford, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, this Rams offense in this spot, but I think the Seahawks are the best team remaining, best team in the NFC. They're the 1 seed for a reason. They're at home. I think this is a huge game at home for them. I'm going to take the Seahawks minus 140 on the money line. Another, couple touchdown picks. We'll go look at the anytimers here. Kenneth Walker, your favorite, minus 150 for the Seahawks. Obviously, no Zach Charbonnet in this game, out for the season after a tough injury last week, which led to Kenneth Walker going crazy in that game. But, you get Kenneth Walker as your lead back here, minus 150 to score an anytime touchdown. Jackson Smith-Njigba, plus 105. Devontae Adams, plus 115. Puka Nacua, plus 120. Kyron Williams, plus 120. A.J. Barner, plus 210. And Blake Corum, plus 260. Rashid Shaheed and Cooper Kupp, plus 300. Obviously, obviously a lot different anytime touchdown score prices in this one than the last game. Last game is expected to be a lot more defensive. These are two high-flying offenses that are able to get up and down the field. I know we're going to have some shitty conditions up there in Seattle today, but I think there's going to be a lot of points. I like Devontae to score. I like Kyron to score. I like Kenneth Walker to score. I mean, in at JSN, I don't love the price plus 105. I do think he scores. I like a Cooper Kupp plus 300 against his old team, against the Rams in a big game, help get the Seahawks team to a Super Bowl. A lot of people, when Cooper Kupp went to the Seahawks, when Sam Darnold went to the Seahawks, not a lot of people were expecting much from this team. That defense is unreal, probably the best in the NFL. I know we've been hearing that a lot get thrown around with the Texans, the Broncos, some of these other teams that have great defenses, but they got the new Legion of Boom up there in Seattle. They've been building it for the past couple of years with guys like Witherspoon, Woolen, some of the linebackers that they have. They have some great pieces up there in Seattle, and I think they get a win today. Minus 140 on the money line. For touchdown picks, I like Kenneth Walker, I like Devontae Adams, and I like Cooper Kupp against his old team there. So again, shop your odds there. Shop those anytime touchdown picks. Make sure you can see, make sure you're getting the best odds. So these are all the odds we always go through on MGM. That's just what we go off. So, that doesn't necessarily mean we're reading off the best price. We always post the best price on our cards. So, also something else to consider. A lot of people are like, where are you getting this at plus 650? So you got to shop your odds. Make sure you're seeing the best price that you can put your money down on. But for a first touchdown play, in this one, it's tough because they love Charbonnet. They love Charbonnet all year as he's been the first touchdown machine. I actually think the Rams are going to score the first touchdown, take an early lead. Give me Devontae Adams plus 800. I took him last week to score first. He didn't score at all. I did first in any time. Didn't pay off for me. He didn't score at all. I think he gets in this week, and I think he gets in early. I think the Rams are going to get back to that goal line fade. They're going to be on the 4-yard line, 3-yard line. You're going to see Devontae Adams, left corner of the end zone, dot, catch, touchdown Rams, 6-0 LA. But we don't want it to get too out of hand because we are going to be taking the Seahawks on the money line. That's a for sure play that will be on my card if you want to lock that one in. I think the Seahawks win this game. Another good one to potentially live bet. Both the teams I like, I think they don't score first, so you might be able to get a better price. I think the Seahawks are only going to get it plus 1.5, whatever it is, if they don't score first. So that's why I like the money line. I'd lean on the minus 140 there for the Seahawks. As far as a total, 46, I think this will go over. For how much I said, I think the first one's a defensive battle, under. I think this one will be a little bit more high scoring. I know that Seahawks defense I've been praising for the past 10, 15 minutes, but this Rams offense is able to score. They have McVay, they have Matt Stafford, they have Nacua, Adams, all the guys I just named. They're not going to go out without a fight. They're going to put up their points. This is going to be a great game. This is obviously the game that everyone I think is excited for. With Stidham going for the Broncos and not much expectations for that Denver Bronco team without Bo Nix. But I like the Seahawks. I like the Broncos plus 3.5. Either way, the Seahawks, we could get a Seahawks Broncos Super Bowl rematch. We could get a Seahawks Patriots Super Bowl rematch. We could get a Rams Patriots Super Bowl rematch. So a lot of storylines going into this, how it's going to work out. Um, but yeah, I want to take a look at some of these odds for these teams to win the Super Bowl. I'm struggling to get my futures pulled up here. Let me see what I can find. Might have to do it on my phone. Let me see. I remember I was looking at this yesterday. The Seahawks, or at least MGM had the Seahawks at the favorite. I think the Rams and Patriots were tied, and then obviously the Broncos were kind of a long shot fourth team listed on there. So let me pull these up, and I'll see what I can find for you as far as future odds. If you were looking to lock in a future, with 2 games to go, hope your team can get 2 wins. Let's see what we can find here. All right, so Super Bowl winner. These are on MGM. Seattle Seahawks are your favorite at plus 150. The LA Rams at plus 220. The New England Patriots at plus 260, and the Denver Broncos at plus 1100. I think it's going to be Seahawks versus Patriots, and I think the Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl. If you bet that exact outcome, Seahawks to beat Patriots, it's only plus 240. So maybe just bet the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl plus 150 if you like that play. I do think the Patriots are going to win that game, but I like the Broncos plus 3.5. I like the under. I gave out some touchdown picks there with Ramondre Stevenson on the anytime, Ramondre Stevenson on the first touchdown. I also recommended live betting the Broncos. It's not going to be on my card, the plus 3.5, but probably catch me live betting them if I can get them at 6.5, 7, 7.5, whatever it might be. If the fuck, I have to sneeze. This is so annoying. Might be able to catch them at 7, 6.5 points. So definitely something to keep an eye out for a live bet. But my ultimate pick here is Seahawks over the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I think this Patriots team has what it takes to win it with Drake May, a second-year quarterback. A lot of these good quarterbacks have won it in their second year. It's looking like he could be joining that list there, at least with an appearance. But could Jarrett Stidham and those pesky Broncos get in the way? We'll have to wait and see. 3 o'clock Eastern today for the AFC Championship, 6:30 p.m. Eastern for the NFC Championship. Leave any last-minute comments, questions in the chat. You can catch all of our official plays. Hit the books.pod on Instagram, hit the books_pod on Twitter. We'll get all of our official plays out there. And then one last thing, I'm a golf guy. Golf is back. We have a great tournament going on this weekend, the American Express. We have an absolute awesome storyline going into Sunday. We have Scotty Scheffler, Siwoo Kim, and 18-year-old Blades Brown that finished high school 2 weeks ago. In the final group today. Blades Brown and Scotty are tied at 21 under. Siwoo Kim sitting at 22 as your solo leader. Your favorite to win the tournament is Scotty Scheffler at plus 110, Siwoo Kim plus 225, Blades Brown plus 900, Wyndham Clark plus 1,000. I think there's value in Scotty Scheffler. I don't think an 18-year-old is going to beat him. The story's great. Plus 900. If you like it, bet it. Maybe worth a sprinkle there. Siwoo Kim and Scotty have a off the course friendly relationship. They both live in Dallas. Scotty helped him get into a couple clubs when he was on the come up down there in Dallas to play some of these nicer courses. So they got I'm very excited to watch this final group. I think they tee off around 11:50 Eastern time. But sorry to bore you guys with any golf talk if you weren't here for that. If you're here for football, catch all of our official plays, hit the books.pod on Instagram. We went through those 2 games in the AFC and NFC Championship. We're going with the Broncos plus 3.5, under 43. We're going with the Seahawks on the money line. We leaned on the over there. Ramondre Stevenson, anytime touchdown. Ramondre Stevenson, first touchdown. Davante Adams, anytime touchdown. Davante Adams, first touchdown. And Scotty Scheffler to win the American Express at plus 110. That's enough picks for you. I'm snowed in. I got a lot of snow out there. I'm going to be watching sports all day. Thanks for listening. Leave us any comments, tweets, whatever you got. Throw us at it. Hit the books_pod on Twitter. Tweet us any questions you got. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.